Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today let's travel back in time and take a look at the best top 10 90s cartoons that have probably almost been forgotten about and dig up some of that old school nostalgia. So sit back and get ready to feel like a kid again as we go through this fun list of childhood blasts from the past. Our first show on the list is Home Movies. Home Movies would become a defining program during the startup of Adult Swim, but it's just the show's improv-style first season on UPN that aired during the 90s. The show only gets better as it goes on, but the first season didn't start with the greatest animation style. Home Movies and its abrasive squiggly-type aesthetic isn't for everyone. But the type of trivial, day-to-day natural conversations and impromptu musical numbers would become the trademark of the show's creators, Brendan Small and Lauren Bouchard, the latter of which is responsible for current hit shows of today, Bob's Burgers and Central Park.
You know what? I'm going to crack the egg. I'm going to crack the egg because if you do it, you're going to drip it all down the side of the bowl. I know not on purpose. Honey, Mommy can't deal with spills. No,
Mom, guess what? I finished the preview for my movie. I'd really like to would you please look at it, please?
Yeah.
Please, Mom.
Yes. Go ahead, show me.
Okay, here it goes. It's
What's it called?
it's called the Dark Side of the Law.
Number 2, Daria. While originally created as a Beavis and Butthead spin-off, this show is a very different type of comedy, but it's set in the same cynical world. Daria Morgendorffer has become an icon to a whole generation of discontent and sarcastic female teenage outcasts. This animated series does a great job showing the depressing perils of high school and family drama, as well as coming-of-age romances, through its uniquely dry humor and sometimes dark filter. It's a comedy that will entertain the Beavis and Butthead crowd, but also leave them challenged.
Daria Morgendorffer to the office. Her her cousin needs her.
I don't know how I'll make up the classwork.
What's rhinoplasty?
Exactly what it sounds like. Not only did you get out of class by faking sick, but you convinced the nurse to let your sister take you home. Of course, we don't appear to be going home.
I need you to be my alibi.
Generally, you want your alibi not to be a witness at the scene of the crime.
Don't tell anyone. Or I'll just say you followed me.
Number 3, Duckman. The USA Network made a go at the animated market during the 90s, and in a perfect world, their ahead-of-its-time cartoon, Duckman, would have lasted much longer than 4 seasons. Voiced by Jason Alexander, Duckman is a single parent who works as a detective with a considerably more competent sidekick. Duckman is smart, weird, and actually has something to say with its comedy. Several episodes bravely visit dark places well before cartoons like BoJack Horseman and Rick and Morty would popularize this. Duckman even does genre-mixing concept episodes and installments that play around with live-action segments, all of which were revolutionary during the 90s.
Mr. Duckman, being aware of your little digestive problem, we made you a bran muffin and a mug of steaming liquid grit. Be good to your bowels, and they'll be good to you. We also called your doctor to tell him we think you've been a naughty detective. You've been smoking again. And he said, quote, keep it up and his heart will burst and splatter all over the inside of his tar-filled lungs, end quote. So we set traps in all your cigarette packages.
Our number 4 spot goes to Hey Arnold. One of the biggest dangers with children's programming is that it can present the same character's perspective over and over and exclude those with different backgrounds and lifestyles. This show became such a breath of fresh air for Nickelodeon. It was a show that looked at an inner-city kid and his flawed, rough-around-the-edges friends and family. The series immediately felt different from its peers, as its young characters hung out on the stoops of apartment buildings or ran through the streets at night. This show takes risks with its stories and characters, all of which pay off and prove that it's never a bad idea to present an experience that's authentic.
Whalakers, look at all them rockets.
This is too good to be true. We'll take them all, strap them together with a whole bunch of baking soda and a whole ton of vinegar, and blast them off.
But what if we get caught?
I'm the boss and I say we're doing it.
Number 5, Mission Hill. Mission Hill was the WB's big bid to take on The Simpsons, but it unfortunately only lasted 13 episodes, many of which didn't even air during its original broadcast. Coming from Bill Oakley and Josh Weinstein, who had just done prestigious work on The Simpsons, Mission Hill smartly explored 20-somethings' listless attitudes and lots of niche subcultures that would have been right at home on Adult Swim. The show burst with personality, both with its characters and unconventional color palette, and it is still talked about decades later despite its short run. There have even been recent talks to reboot Mission Hill as a spin-off or some type of nostalgic continuation. Let's hope that these rumors come true.
Lee, you want some help with those?
Oh, thanks, yeah. Carlos and I have just been exhausted lately, what with the baby schedule and all the noise in this building.
I know. I could barely get to sleep with the sound of Gus and Wally fighting.
What are you looking at? We made up!
Sorry about all the brouhaha last night.
You've been in the relationship this long, you're bound to have a few beefs.
We'd have a few less beefs if someone would learn to pick up after himself.
I said I would use the hamper. Enough!
Number 6. South Park. South Park has undeniably only gotten smarter and funnier since its introductory seasons in the 90s. Still, the program would still be a monumental achievement even if it had ended with the release of its 1999's theatrical feature film, which was what was intended by the creators at one point. The first 3 seasons of South Park are the crudest in many respects, but it's remarkable what this groundbreaking adult animated series is still able to accomplish. The hilarious and crazy exploits of Stan, Kyle, Cartman, and Kenny inspired countless imitators during the 2000s, but none have been able to accomplish the same success or longevity as South Park.
Big head and big black eyes. Dude, visitors. Totally. What? That wasn't a dream, Cartman. Those were visitors. No, it was just a dream. My mom said so. Visitors are real. Yeah, they abduct people and they mutilate cows. Ah, shut up, you guys. You're just trying to make me scared, and it's not working.
Number 7. Courage the Cowardly Dog. Courage the Cowardly Dog helped close out the 90s, and the chaotic cartoon was the sign of a greater shift in animation that was beginning to occur in the 2000s. This show was classic Cartoon Network-style programming as a paranoid pooch gets perturbed by endless paranormal occurrences, which his elderly owners are oblivious toward. Courage the Cowardly Dog proves that an unusual edge can be an asset for a cartoon rather than a drawback. Number 8. Dexter's Laboratory. Genndy Tartakovsky is currently breaking all of the rules in animation on Adult Swim's Primal. Still, he previously made waves through the 2000s era with cartoons like Samurai Jack and the original Clone Wars animated series. Dexter's Laboratory is made for a younger audience compared to the rest of Tartakovsky's series, and it helped define Cartoon Network through its distinct visual style and smart characterization. While geared more toward the male demographic, the show still fostered a passionate female fandom through the extroverted Dee Dee, Dexter's sister. The framework of Dexter's Laboratory, along with its kid with a super secret premise, has become staples of modern cartoons for kids.
My latest, greatest work is just about completed. One more adjustment to the flux motivator. Ooh, Dexter's got gas!
Number 9. The Simpsons. It's nothing short of incredible that The Simpsons will have celebrated 750 episodes by the end of its historic 34th season. There's a strong case to be made that modern Simpsons is a pale imitation of its former self, but the 90s were The Simpsons' time to shine and the peak of the cartoon's comedy. The first 10 seasons of The Simpsons aired during the 90s, which includes all of the animated comedy's glory years. And that was also the point where other cartoons started trying to emulate the show's animated sitcom-style comedy. Its impact on both animation and television comedies as a whole cannot be denied.
A tattoo?
A what?
Yeah, they're cool and they last the rest of your life. You will not be getting a tattoo for Christmas.
Yeah, if you want one, you'll have to pay for it out of your own allowance.
All right! Homer! Oh, Bart, that's so sweet. It's the best present a mother could get, and it makes you look so dangerous.
Number 10. SpongeBob SquarePants. With close to 300 episodes, 3 feature films, and now several spin-off series under its belt, it's hard to argue with the impact and legacy of Nickelodeon's SpongeBob SquarePants. This show has become Nickelodeon's equivalent to The Simpsons, and it seems like it may never end even though its creator, Steven Hillenburg, has passed on and its best years are in its past. Some of SpongeBob's greatest triumphs didn't happen until the 2000s, but the first season still caused a big stir in 1999. The cartoon emerged fully formed, and SpongeBob's upbeat, cheery personality, along with the endearing personalities of all the other characters, would fuel decades of programming for this hit show.
Where have I seen this before? Here it is. Land squirrel. That little squirrel is in trouble.
Take that, you sorry old clam!
Look out! Hold on, little squirrel.
Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content, and I'll see you again next time.